there will be times when you're going to see, when you're going to be uplifted, and you're going to see the seas of souls, the silver and the gold, and what's actually happening, and how you are a part of that sea. And you've been chosen and you've been placed in this body. You are not the body. You are the spirit that entered the baby while it was forming inside the mother's womb. And you, looking at me, listening to me, entered into that body. And you had all the knowledge of what was happening in the astral at the time. And you came into this world. And you were baptized and sealed and all those things. And brainwashed. And everything you knew about your former lives and the astral was taken away from you by man's hands, by people's wisdom and knowledge. And they tried to make all different kinds of things of you. And sometimes you'll say, but why am I not an engineer? I could have been this. And if that didn't happen that day, I could have been very wealthy today. And some of you are well off financially. And some of you are battling and some are worrying and some have no food. So each and every step that happened to you, if you walked out of a shop one day and you turned left instead of right, you would have not been here today. So you had your own mind, but God still guided you because He wanted you here. And now He wants to use you. So now when He brought you unto this light, now there's a lot of things that you're going to read from the Bible, and that's what I want to reveal to you, how to read the Bible and how to read this Bible, how to become the Bible, how to become the book of life for others. And then I also want you to see that you read the Bible and everything's going to change because you're going to identify everything. Let me give you an example, beloveds. You know, when we were in dogmatic religion, sorry about that, it's just how it is, I have to say that. When we were in dogmatic religion, we always said that we're the body of Christ and we've been slaughtered by people out there. But when we look at the Bible today, the Jews from Jerusalem slaughtered Jesus. They didn't believe in Him. They crucified Him. So now you see that all these things where you are from, the little flock of God, that you are now chosen and they're doing these things to you. But I want to uplift you so quickly that it won't hurt you. And that's why I spent so much time on you, each and every one of you, in the last few months. To uplift you so these people can't hold you back. Nothing wrong with it. They're coming. They're also coming this way. They have to. As I said in the Zoom yesterday, they have to come. They got no choice. Not that they don't want to come. They just don't know of any better. Because if they knew, they wouldn't have crucified our Lord of glory. Now, beloveds, everything changed in your life the day God called you unto this body. Because when you became a part of this body, God trusted you. And that's why He gave you these treasures. That's why He gave you this knowledge. That's why He gave you this wisdom. Now He trusts you to use it to build His church. God trusted you not because you're going to fail Him. You can fail Him. It's no problem. But He trusted you because He knows that you are capable of doing what He called you for. He called you to build this church for those who come after you. This is the only path where people will be taken up, testified, and ascend into the kingdom of God. And I can tell you today, according to all the gifts and according to everything that's going to happen, many are going to fall. Many are going to do their own thing. Many are going to think they know better. It's going to happen. And many will come. And you will not believe what powers are coming. You will not believe what souls are being drawn. The one beloved calls me and he says, I've been listening to your videos for quite a few months now. And you know, from where I was, I evolved. I evolved from that way of understanding to this way of understanding. And he understood our teachings perfectly. And I saw, yes, here it's coming. And I don't know, he's never been on our group. Some of them never was part of this. And they say, Apostle, I want to be part of that. And I'm working on them, but I don't want them to be influenced at the moment. I don't want that which is not good in the groups to influence them at this point. But you have to remember that each and every one of you are called for a reason. Don't fail your own souls. Jesus says, I'm going to my Father. They said, show us the Father. They didn't know the Father. Liken unto most. They don't know the Father. They think they know the Father. But then he said, I'm going to the Father. He says, I've been with you so long, you haven't known me. I'm in the Father in me, I in you. And now you can't see me. Because, beloveds, you can't see me. Because you're still arguing about how you must serve this God and how you want to serve this God and what you're going to do and how you want to do things. You haven't seen me. Because if you see me, you will die. But you're not dying. So, what you are doing here is to develop an eye to see. You see God every now and again. When we're sitting here, I can see who can see. And as those flashes are coming through, the Lord is coming for you. Not with a sickle in hand. He's coming for you. He's coming for your soul. That soul in your body is His. Beloved, this body you in belongs to the earth and it will return to the earth. It's dust, it will return to dust. Nothing you can do about it. You owe this to the earth because you took it from the earth. And your flesh was taken from the earth. It will return to the earth. But in this flesh, you have a choice of how long you can stay in that body. In this flesh, you can decide how long Lucifer is going to control your soul. How long you're going to be in pain and suffering that you think is joy and light. Beloveds, there are much better things for all of you. Don't waste it. We have to build God a church. I can't build two. I can't have some there and some there and some there. And I can't have you having some there and we all split up. Don't break these things up. You come with everything you have, beloved, or don't come at all. You come with your heart and your soul. You love God above everything, or you're going to fail. I don't want that to happen. So that's why, beloveds, when God speaks to you and you can't see Him, you live on faith. Don't demand. In the Old Testament, Moses hit the rock with his staff. What is that staff? It's the word. I want this. No, I want the explanation for this. I want this. I want that. And Christ just gave the water. And He just continued giving the water. And what happened? They all died. They weren't life-giving spirits. And that's what we have to become. Now I'm going to tell you again. If you start realizing God, if you become God conscious, if you attain light, the first thing you do is fall on your face. Because then you realize how great our Creator is. The Creator speaking to you from mouth to ear. If you take this jewels and this treasures and you use it for yourself, you got no chance of conquering your mind. No chance. And beloveds, when you leave your body, it's not going to be a nice experience. And the body you're going to be born into next life is not going to be a nice experience. And these are not threats. Like they say, because you have to come to church or that's going to happen to you and you're going to lose this, your car's wheel's going to fall off. I'm not telling you that. I am telling you the truth. You don't know where you're from. You don't know where you're headed. You think you know, but you don't. And that's why I'm teaching you. And that's why when you see Father, when you see this word, when you see God at this level, not those levels, when you see Him at these levels, you will fall on your knees and say, how great is my Father. When Jesus mentioned the thing in the Bible, all these teachings, I'm going to my Father, I'll come back and I'll bring you where I am. It's not even close to where you are now. Because, beloveds, my overplaced sends me to fetch you to come to where I am. Because my overplaced teaches me and he gives me this light and now I give you this light and you ascend to my level. But now I don't want you to take this like parrots. I want you to understand that when you ascend in this light, you actually start seeing. And you actually ascend into those heavens where you connect to that level of God consciousness. Remember that. It's not, I learned so much and the scales fall off my eyes and now because I'm placed in this office, now I can see that for, it's not. In this path, you ascend to that heaven. But the only way you're going to get into that heaven is to get rid of the flesh of this heaven, to get rid of the darkness of this heaven, and to attain the light of this heaven to take you into that heaven. That flesh remains. And that's why when you get to, like Paul, when he was in the third heaven and he came back, he had to take all his bodies again, isn't it, beloved? To a certain extent, of course, pure flesh, which I'll explain to you. And they said, what did you see? He heard unspeakable words. Because it is unspeakable. You can't say what you see there. There's no words there. The word is at this level only. So there you become much more godlike. You become much more enlightened. You become much more heavenly body. So you can't come from there and sit here, and it just becomes more difficult. You'll see for yourself. I'll get you there and you'll see how difficult it is to go from that heaven to this heaven. And then just talk. It's almost impossible. That's why you always need those other heavens to teach somebody in this heaven, for that people to teach these people and ascend, and that's the Jacob's ladder. You don't jump to a ladder to the fourth or to the top of the ladder. All these things are reality. And that's why I want you to, when you read the Bible, see how they'll persecute you. The more spiritual you become, see how they persecute you. And then, how do you survive? The shield. Get rid of your flesh. Get rid of your flesh. Then nothing can hurt you. And that is, beloved, why I want you to see the new heaven and the new earth. Because the old heaven and the old earth must pass away. And the new heaven and the new earth will descend like a bride prepared for a groom. Let me read these texts to you, beloved, because our beloveds asked quite a bit about this. And I want to show you. Revelation 21, from the first verse. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. There was no more sea, beloved. The sea of nation was passed. Okay, where we go fishing. In the church. Because you go on testimony in the church. That's the world, isn't it? You take them from the world. The sea is the world where you bring them from. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God. Is that enough evidence for you, beloveds, to know that God must be with you? That's the promise he's making to you. Who's got that? So, what does he say? That's something to appreciate, isn't it? But I don't want us to feel special, because that's what the world do, and then they grow ego. Let us be humbled by being chosen to be part of such a body. But let us continue, beloved. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. There won't be pain, there won't be tears. Why not? Because there's no more flesh. Why not? Because you become the Son, and then you become Father. You see the Spirit, you become the Spirit. You see the Son, you become the Son. You see Father, and you will become Father by being the Son, because the Son is the one that goes to the cross. And every time he dies, he ascends into a higher level of God consciousness, closer to Father, until there's no more flesh. In the beginning we'll cry, and at different levels, beloved. It's very hard to accomplish and conquer the mind. You will hear anybody that conquers the mind or that enters this path truly, they'll say it's impossible. Those that say, it's easy. They've never suffered. They've never known. So, it's not a question of, we just go through it. You switch your mind off. No, beloveds, to truly enter into the path is going to be painful. To really cut yourself off this world is painful. Because Lucifer is mind. And you've been Lucifer. He says you were darkness, but now you are light. You are the light of the world, Matthew 5. You were darkness, and now you light. You were carnal, now you become spirit. What is carnal, beloved? Death, enmity, the enemy of God. Flesh and blood is enemy of God. Those who are carnal-minded is enmity to God. So what was I? I was the enemy of God because I served the flesh. I served my senses. Everything that the senses told me to do, I ran after, and I did. And that controlled my entire life and my soul. So when this light comes and it calls you, beloveds, and it takes you by the hand with love to uplift you, you can only learn by seeing how small you are. You can only ascend by saying, Father, I do not deserve this. If you see the greatness of your Father, beloved, go out and look at it rain. Go out and look at the birds. Go out and look at the animals. Go out and look at the stars. And just try and fathom one live cell. And when you can do that, and you can look at your wife, or you can look at a child, or you can look at a baby being born, and you can appreciate it, and look at the Father's power and might and wisdom that lies behind all these things to make it alive. The electrons in a light that makes a light burn. The electrons. The positive and the negative. Who made all that? We figured it out to a little extent. But look at the power behind all this. Black holes, planets disappearing. What is all this? And we want to just think we know that. So I want us, beloved, to be the body that truly are serving Father the way He wants to be served. I want us to really be on our knees and say, Father, thy will be done. And when they say, good master, say, I'm not good. Only my Father in heaven is good. Let us become nothing, beloveds. There's no threats. I can give you facts. At first, when you were under the law, there were laws and you were threatened. I'm not going to threaten you. I'm going to tell you facts of which you know very little about the astral, where you headed, where you're from. And that's why I continue telling you, and I want to show you. I'm speaking to the spirit inside that body. Don't let that body fool you. Don't let your mind fool you. Don't let your own point of understanding fool you. That's Lucifer. And if you think you can control God with Lucifer, then take all the darkness in the universe and try to put out the light. So that's why, beloved, I want this group to be strong. And I want this group to give up their way of understanding and to see that we're serving a living God. You were chosen. And that is more than anybody can hope for. And there's going to be a time when you're going to see how great the astral even is, or the first heaven is. And you will see those souls. And you will see that light. And you will see that power. And that's why I ask you, please. We had nothing. And God made something out of us. And now we want to say, no, but we gave this and we left this. And we left nothing. We haven't even started giving up. We haven't even started working. We haven't even started sacrificing. We haven't even gave one drop of blood yet. Because remember, beloved, if you are on the cross, what is the cross? 5 wounds. In the hands, in the feet, and in the side. And out of 5 of the wounds came blood and 1 water. And that is the cross. 5 times more work than talk. And if you don't understand that, beloved, stop for a while. Stop. Because you're going to harm yourself. Just stop and think, what am I doing for my Father? And what's my Father doing for me? What has He done for me? 5 blood, 1 water. Don't just talk, beloveds. It's blood. Because blood is the only thing that releases the soul from the mind. The blood is conquering the flesh and setting the soul free. And that is the New Jerusalem. If we get time, I'll continue with this tomorrow. We don't have much time. But this New Jerusalem, beloved, Jerusalem, the mother of us all. But now we say, okay, but that's the New Jerusalem. It's not. The New Jerusalem will be seen. The first Jerusalem we're all part of. And that's where Saul comes from. That's where the Jews come from that persecutes Christ. That's where all the things come from. That's where dogma comes from. That is Jerusalem. Man, don't you know that man has to be reborn out of spirit and truth? Water and spirit. So that's the fact about it, beloved. So that's why I ask you, 5 blood, 1 water. Then we can start thinking about entering this path of truth. And then, beloved, if we think ourselves worthy, you're still not part of it. Because we're not worthy. No man is worthy of Father. Let us become worthy by becoming Father. Let us become worthy by becoming the Son. And I hope this makes sense to you, beloved. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you very much, beloveds. God bless all of you.